but why I'm excited to get on radio and start this, like, kind of opening the fucking floodgates. And this is because the more I tell my story to comedians, they're like, oh yeah, man, fuck Bob and Tom, fuck that shitty show. And they treated me like, and I'm telling you, it'll be a fucking floodgate. It'll be a regular segment of comics talking about how much they fucking hate. I bet it's true.
It's the world famous Skeptic Tank. It's not really world famous at all. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? I'm doing this from my bed. It's a beautiful goddamn week in New York. The springtime is here officially. That was the best thing about landing from Bangkok. It was so hot there. It was 80 degrees here, and people were complaining about the heat. Go fuck yourself. It was 95 with humidity. This is wonderful. It's springtime, and it's beautiful. It's like in the 70s now. Everybody's out and smiling. The nights are warm. All you need is a T-shirt. We've entered T-shirt weather. You guys, if you had to pick a time to be alive in New York City, it would be now and... Oh, that's it. It'd be now. Bad news, you guys. I woke up and found food in my mouth. So a couple things could have happened. Either I got a new apartment. I moved in my new apartment, and it's wonderful. I have no complaints about the new apartment. I mean, it's wonderful. I love it. But either someone, maybe the old tenant, still has the key to this place and has broken in overnight to put food in my mouth and then left, which is a very serious issue. And I mean, if that's happening, I'm going to have to deal with it, because that can't go on. That's a violation of my privacy. I mean, it's a clear violation of who I am. And I would have to do something about it to stop him from coming in here and taking bits of food, probably chewing them up, I guess, and then shoving them into the space between my gums and my lip. Either that, or Ari Shaffir is turning into a fat pig, which I think is the case. I think that's the case, you guys. I love New York, and I'm starting to eat the food, all the food, because I ate so much good food in Thailand. I was like, what am I doing going to Whole Food all the time? Listen, I'll go there for some greens. I'll bring them back. I'll eat some, but I got to experience this fucking town, this culinary experience. It's amazing. Everywhere, there's food. I've been on a burrito kick lately. I got to be honest, though. The stuff I've had is not quite as good as L.A. I got to go try La Lucha again. I remember that being okay. Maybe I just need a bean and cheese. They don't have the California burrito, which I like. Okay, so a lot of times people go, well, this type of, they don't have good Chinese food and wherever. They don't have, and it's just, no, that's just a type of Chinese food you're used to. I mean, the real, whatever. Sidetracking. You guys, this episode, I have Big J on, and we're talking about bad interviews. We didn't have enough time, really, to go into it, but we had some time. It was a good hour discussion. Big J's always a treat. Always a treat. He's going to be doing my Storyteller show again. By the way, I have 2 Storyteller shows, live ones in New York. June 4th, 10 p.m., Brooklyn at Union Hall. One of my favorite places to do the show. We did it there last year. Miss Pat did it. Big J did it. Julia Rossi did it. Wow, that's 3 people from this season that we did. We're on that show. DC Benny told a great story about getting molested by the ice cream man. And then there was one other one. Somebody fell out late. Michael Che canceled late. Who took over? I don't know. Oh, Rob Cantrell. Yeah, so it was a good one. I really liked it. Small theater. So get tickets, $15 in advance, $20 at the door. I am not going to tell you who's going to be performing. I'm actually, because I'm still making the lineup. But just get tickets. It's going to be good no matter what. I'm only getting good people and maybe one or two new ones who are like taking a shot. That's what I always do. So I have a show there June 4th, 10 p.m. show. That'll be great. We can all get high afterwards because it's Brooklyn and it's a place to do it. June 30th, I'm doing another one at the Stand. And I don't know. Then I'm performing all the time at the Stand, just regular shows. The Cellar. DC Improv in July. Bonnaroo all of August. No, Bonnaroo in June and Edinburgh all of August. Guys, go to my website for tickets. So yeah, Jay and I went talked about interviews. Bob and Tom, lots of shit. Oh wait. I have got some stories to tell you from last week's episode. This is very embarrassing. Pete found out, some fucking listeners told me about it. I don't mind when people point stuff out to me in a good way. Not like, you got the year wrong. It was 1912, not 1913 when the Polacks invaded. Because it was 1912. I thought it was 1913. Man. All right. So, God, this is so embarrassing. When we went to the palace that day to see the King's Palace, King Philip, or whatever the fuck his name is. I should look up what his name is. Hold on. There's no way it's King Philip. No way. But when we went to the palace oh yeah, I can rest it on my fucking King of Thailand name. Wow, I was not really that far off. I said Philip, and his name is actually Bhumibol Adulyadej. So, I mean, Philip, on one hand, listen to it carefully. Philip Bhumibol Adulyadej. Okay, new moment. I pronounced that fucking sweet that second time. Anyway, went to see it, and the guy, you heard the story in the podcast, the guy fucking, was hooked us up with this tuk-tuk driver. The guy was in on it. It's a scam. It's a well-known scam. They tell you the palace is closed for repairs or for fucking, they're praying like he told us. Oh, what? No, they're praying till 10:30, but this guy can take you around. 40 baht. He'll hook you up. He goes 40, and the guy's like, yeah, okay, 40. The whole thing's a scam, then a shakedown. Seemed too good to be true. He had maps. He had a map in his pocket. Well, why would a local have a map? God. So embarrassing. I mean, how much did he get out of us? 200 baht a piece? $6 each? For $6 each, he actually did take us around to 3 different places in his tuk-tuk. I mean, and it took like an hour and a half. It's really not that much, but the principle of it. And the fact that we were going to go see Bhumibol Adulyadej's his palace. And you fucking robbed us. I'm sorry, King Philip. Okay, it's just the big cities. I've talked to some friends who have been backpacking through Thailand, and it's just the big cities where they try to like take advantage of you at every moment. You know who does not try to take advantage of you? Warby Parker. That's right, everybody. I got a sponsor, and they're actually pretty cool. I don't take sponsorships of people I don't like believe in some way. It's a mixture between things I actually use myself and things that are like, yeah, this seems like a cool product. It's not for me, but for other people. Warby Parker is for me. You guys, it's fucking the glasses they give you. First of all, they're $95 with lenses in them. I've done it. I've gone through the process. Here's what you do. You go online. You can get up to 5. I mean, you can just buy them outright if you want, but don't do that. That's crazy. Because you got to try glasses on. You got to see if they face forward. They got to see how you fit in your head. When I get massive haircuts and change my look drastically, which I do every 2 years, you got to get new glasses. They don't fit your face right unless you anyway. So you try it. You go to warbyparker.com. You can pick out 5 different frames, and you can look by color and by shape. You can if you only want I want kind of rounded ones. So if you look for round ones. You can look for square, rectangle, and different colors, purples, greens, brown, turtle. You pick out 5 you like. They send them to you. Try them on immediately. You have, I think, 5 days or a week or maybe even 2 weeks to return them. The point is just do it immediately. I am super responsible. I'd wait a month, and then they would bill me for the 5 frames. Don't get to that point. Just get them. Be like, wow. And it's 5 days from when you get it, or 7 days from when you get it. Try them on, see which ones you like, send them all back. They give you even a little notepad so you can make notes about it. You can show your friends, hey, what do you think of these? And just try on 5 in front of them. They'll tell you. And then send back all of them. And then if you like one of them, then you say, okay, I want these Burks. That's what I got last time. I want the Burks. Here's my prescription. You just send it to them, and then they send you a pair of Burks with the lenses in them. $95. Includes shipping. All of it. The shipping part is free. So they give you labels and everything. So it's fucking great, you guys. It's $95. The first time I got some, they were great. But I brought them to China, and then I had the fucking. I made out with this girl in like Guangzhou that I met. It was really fucking hot. I mean, like sexually hot. It was just a makeout. But like, man, it was middle of nowhere, and it was just like. Anyway, as we were making out, I took my glasses off, and then I sat on him, and then I didn't even get off when I sat on him. I was so hooked up in the moment. It was like a high school makeout. I mean, it really was. I sat, and then I just kept sitting on him and shifting, and they didn't even break that bad, to be honest. But I needed a new one, so I went and got new ones. And that's a cool thing, too. If you fuck them up completely, you already know what you got. You can just say, hey, send me the fucking Burks. Anyway, you guys go to warbyparker.com, get them. You place an order for prescription glasses, you'll have them in your hand within 10 business days. And they're usually faster than that. They were faster than that, the ones that I got. If you want, go to warburg.com/Ari to choose your free home try-on frames. Oh, I get it. Okay. No, it's not free shipping. It's not free shipping for the final frame choice. It's only free shipping for the try-ons. But if you use warburgparker.com/Ari, then it's also free shipping for your final frame choice. So, okay, yeah, do that. warbyparker.com/Ari. Support the podcast and get fucking sweet glasses. And if you don't like them, like if you don't like all 5, you return all 5, try it again. Or don't try again. Get some glasses that look good on you. You guys, that's a sponsor. That sponsor money goes to giving people like Jay. It has now moved up to $100 because I have a sponsor. And what's Jay going to do with that money? You guys know what I do with my money. I use it for quality products, like drugs. And what does Jay do? Jay uses it not to feed his starving daughter. I mean, he does that too, I guess. But no. I'm back in character. Not to feed his starving daughter, but to relapse on tobacco cigarettes, the worst of all cigarettes. He's smoking again, you guys. Listen, the problem with shaming rapists is that it's not going to work on them. People rape for power. Most cases of somebody grabbing you behind a bush and like taking you into the corner and like with a knife to your throat, they don't even fuck. You can look it up. That's not even a thing. They usually penetrate the woman with something else. It's literally about power and not sexual gratification. In the violent cases of rape. Where was I? Man, that's a big sidetrack. Oh, so the idea of shaming someone, pedophiles too, it's like that's not going to work because it's sort of a sickness where they need this power. Shaming, it doesn't really do the job to shame an aggressor. But in this case, I think it would do something. I think he's already entering into a chemical addiction on nicotine. And I think the best thing you can do for Big J is to shame him. Call him an idiot. I mean, he went to Philadelphia, and so it's a trigger being at home. That's where he used to smoke. That's where he started smoking. That's how I got at the Comedy Store. It was the hardest place to quit smoking. It was the hardest place to quit smoking. Because every time I go back there, the memory of smoking would be there, and people would be offering you cigarettes, and it felt right. It felt like this is how it should be. When I quit, I used to not be able to stay there very long. I had to go do my spot and leave immediately. But Jay went to Philadelphia, had 2 cigarettes, and he goes, nah, it's okay. We just had 2 cigarettes. Me and Christine just had 2 cigarettes, and we won't stick to it at all. And now they're fully smoking again. Shame, Jay. Shame. It's disgusting. You stink, bro. And you're using all your money on it. It's $15 a pack in New York. It's $15 a pack. Your daughter is starving to death. She's going to die of malnutrition. And you're busy smoking cigarettes. Now, the idea that also, like, you can just say, you know better than that is ridiculous because it's a chemical addiction. And he's reinvited the nicotine into his body. He's reinvited the addiction into his body. And he'll give you excuses like, they'll always give you excuses why you relapse. Brian Redband used to do it. Oh, one of my cats got sick and I had to take him to the vet. It was stressful, so I'm smoking. It's like, what? You know, most people don't smoke over that. They just take their cat to the vet. Big J's excuse was, oh, the place that sells the e-cigarettes that I like nearby me doesn't sell those e-cigarettes anymore. So, you know, I had no choice but to smoke full cigarettes again. Go fuck yourself, you fucking liar. Guys, we can make Jay feel bad. I mean, Rogan used to do it to me. He used to yell at me when I was smoking cigarettes. I remember being in Atlanta at the hotel they put us up at, and I was smoking a cigarette, waiting for them to come down, for Tate and Joe to come down. Joe immediately starts in on me. Oh, what the fuck's wrong with you? You're smoking. You have to smoke. And I was smoking all the time. I wasn't even trying to say I quit. I was a full smoker. And we just yelled. So I was like, I put the cigarette out. And Tate was like, no name drop. Tate was like, see, you can quit. I'm like, no, it's only because I didn't want a cigarette and a yelling at. I only wanted a cigarette. So a cigarette in a nice day would be pleasurable. A cigarette and a yelling at would be less pleasurable. And I've also already smoked half a cigarette, so the desire is not there anymore. That's why I can quit. I'll smoke later when you guys aren't yelling at me. So guys, yell at him. Find him on Twitter at BigJOakerson.com and make him feel bad. Shame him. His daughter is more likely to smoke cigarettes because he's smoking. And he'll say, no, I don't smoke around her or in the car. But man, kids know. And she's going to be a smoker now because you can't stop smoking. Because you're letting the chemical run through your body and get worse and worse every day. He's a full smoker now. He'll say like, no, I'm not. I'm working on it. He's a full smoker. Or he'll put in like 2 days of not smoking. And he'll go, see? I didn't smoke for 2 days. I get it, you guys. I get it. I was a smoker for a long time. It's a good relief. It really is. After a big pasta meal, it feels great. And I guarantee you now, most of the smokers that are listening to this are getting an urge for a cigarette right now. That's how devious the fucking drug is. It gets in you, you just hear about it and you want it. It's cold turkey. That's the only way. And then it takes like 3 months for it to be out of your system. 3 months of not having any cigarettes. My suggestion, to help you get over it, smoke a shitload of weed. When you want to smoke something, smoke weed instead. You can go to if you live in LA, California, Colorado, Washington State, any state with like legalized or very, very easily medicinal marijuana, just go to a dispensary and tell them like, I want some shitty weed. I want some really low level weed. So it's just going to make me feel like I'm smoking, but there's going to be no nicotine in it. Do that. Anyway, make Big J feel bad, you guys. Make him feel bad. Make him feel bad. That's a good song to go out to. Ladies and gentlemen, Ari Shaffir's Skeptic Tank, episode 1. What are we at now? Does it sound like I have the microphone in my foot. Does it sound like I have? Episode 220. The Gift of Garble. That's a good name. The Gift of Garble. Yeah, dude, fucking first choice. The Gift of Garble with Big J Oakerson. All about bad interviews. Make it feel bad. Here, I'm gonna give you the good sock. I don't need the things you say. Wherever you want. Yes, sit wherever you want. Where do you feel more comfortable? I can live out of my mind. Where do you feel most comfortable? Sit over here. All right. Is that not where you feel most comfortable?
No, it wasn't about being comfortable. I was saying more for like conversation makes more sense. If we're both sitting on the couch, it's less
weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
That's a move you pill on a chick to have sex with her.
Yeah.
No, let's both sit together and watch
podcast, yo.
I've never done that. My friends have.
Do you remember one of the first podcasts I ever did with you, if not the first?
Yeah.
Was with, remember Glitter Goddess? Was that her name?
Yeah. That wasn't the first. No way. You'd been on one before.
Had I been on before that one?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, that was way, way back, man.
It was way back, but that can't be the first one you did with me. Unless it was because you still went through the topic I want you to do, and so it was because you wouldn't do that, I wouldn't have you on for a while.
Talk about swanging.
Yeah. I wouldn't have you on for a while. I was like, no, I told you what I wanted to have you on for. So I was like, well, this will be an excuse to have you on.
That's that may have been very, very true.
Yeah, it might have been the first one.
But she was fucking crazy interesting. But yeah, I think, and I don't know. I think she met a guy and moved to
Texas,
Houston, Texas. Yeah, she does. I don't hear from her anymore. But she was in touch for a while. But yeah, she was fun.
She was cool enough.
Yeah.
We could never hooked up because she was like, nah, you're too dominant. I'm that way too.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, what do you mean? I still like your boobs and stuff. And she was like, nah.
Her body was pretty sick.
You want to tie me up? I want to tie you up.
She was a cute girl, man.
Yeah, she was.
Fun. Oh, man, yeah. I don't know. She never did anything with me and Christine. That would have been nice.
Oh, yeah.
It was too early in the game.
We're going nuts now, huh?
No. Not really. It's really, things like that can't happen like crazy often. But when they come up big. Yeah, that was a biggie, dude. The fucking...
Jeez.
Well, it's funny. I try to challenge, Ralph Sutton, my buddy.
Yeah.
We do the SDR show, and he, always has these stories of like, he's like, I've been with three, it was 3 or 4 girls and me.
Yeah.
He said, and I was like, what just seems, I'm like, what's the scenario that could even possibly happen? I just don't know. It's like, you really gotta, not even 3 girls in him.
Jeez.
4.
2 is a lot. 2 is a big jump.
Getting 2 girls is huge. 3 is damn near impossible. 4 you'd think is just
like the logistically,
but I mean sometimes all things. And I don't even want to paint a picture like I don't like to over ever brag a story. For one, it sounds like you sound like a jerk off.
Yeah.
And the reality is, in this scenario that happened, I didn't fuck anybody actually. Do you know what I mean? I didn't fucking. But I mean, just like it. But it was like a weird a thing. Yeah, just 2 girls from the cellar, these 2 Australians, and then
that night that you
some
met
other girl was
that night.
I mean, moments before.
Wow.
It was pretty great.
Is that just cocaine? Is that because of cocaine? Makes people do that?
They were into.
I know why you're into it.
Me?
Yeah.
Cocaine?
No, them coming back.
Oh, yeah.
Why are they into? Is it just a coke thing? We're like, fuck it, let's do this shit.
Maybe very early
or is it just like
at the comedy club? They kept they party. You want to party? Whatever. And then they flat out said something about coke, and I really just like I can't even fake that I do coke because I just like. I'm very against it, but I don't give a fuck what anybody does. Really, if I had a friend that was getting whacked out on it, I'd probably say something. I'd say something, but I mean, it's like I don't. If these girls literally, they both may be OD'd somewhere now. I wouldn't, I'd go do my shows tonight. It wouldn't break me down. You know what I mean? Not rooting for anything bad for them. So my point is being like. But it is it does make me judge a little bit. It's weird. There's 2 girls and they're doing it. You're like, ugh, what a bunch of dimwits. But really, you should probably judge their dimwits because they're coming back here. And right. I think it was as benign. I'm telling you, it's always the most benign shit. It's
crazy.
Saying the story I told on your show involves grown men getting a girl to play truth or dare.
Oh yeah,
and we meant it. Because it's just like if you well, it's just like we know funny, and I'm not aggressive, I'm not handsome enough to just be like
we all want to
let yourself fucking it has to be like bridges where if they go excuse me, what are you saying?
Watch White Men Can't Jump.
You're like, never mind. Do you know what I mean? No, not that benign, but you make it something sexual, but it's almost like something along the lines of let's go play Naked Twister at my house. Do you know what I mean? And if it's almost like this unspoken other language happening. Because if they go, I'll come play Naked Twister, you're already they're gonna fuck.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? You get the point. It's you can make it something benign and silly, and they can say yes to that. It's giving everyone. It's giving everyone permission to
I'm like, ew, relax. Dude, sometimes at the late night of the comedy store,
really can't
a girl
go.
will get on stage, and Barris is the master of it. And he just so gently, first they don't even want to go up, then they're up, then they're then he starts making people make out with their boyfriends on stage. You guys should kiss, maybe break the seal right now, go behind the curtain. Man, he's crazy. But then some asshole comic will be in the back immediately as soon as she gets up, go, show your tits! And you want to be like, dude, shut your fucking mouth.
It's 2 on the nose, dude.
Yeah.
It's 2 on the nose.
So they're all going to go oh, this is gross. I got to get out of here.
Yeah,
like,
there's
just
got to
let
be.
it
I mean,
ease
look,
into it. Have some romance about
ease
it.
into it if you're looking for a thing to actually happen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because like,
Dude, they were down
here's
3, and now okay.
Because here's the thing: you're literally saying, if you come back and play strip poker at my house,
Yeah.
you're literally saying like, let's do some fucking, let's get naked and do something weird.
Yeah.
And if they go, it's like, oh, I'm really good at poker. You don't want to play me. I'll come back. I'll beat your ass. She's literally found the most benign way to go. Like, yeah, I'll fucking do something. Maybe I'll suck your dick and jerk you off. Who knows what it's gonna be?
Let's be classy about it.
But how weird is that conversation? You walk up to someone and be like, hey, you want to give me a hand job or maybe even fuck? And she was like, yeah, I'm a little horny. I'll go fucking suck your dick, I guess. It's like, no, that never happened.
And that's what happened with these Australian girls.
No, no. Literally,
No,
here's the thing. Here's the
right.
thing. Cypher Sounds. This is great. This is such a great story. Don't you love when you get to tell a story of a dude being righteous and like you're not lying for him? Do you know what I mean? It's like so. Like I'm actually embraced because I was like, should I say his name? I'm like, should, because he was fucking.
Because he comes off great.
Comes off great, dude. I'm talking to these girls after the show. Before the show, I went on stage. I was talking to a girl outside who had a bicycle with her. She was unlocking. She said she, like, was a fan of Attell, but she knew me to some degree, and like, she was just like, just bullshit me outside.
Yeah.
And she had a fucking
Miss too, Jordan.
She had a fucking body,
Yeah.
like a really good body, and she was cute, and like, we're just hanging out, and like, and I very quickly with stuff like, say I have a girlfriend, because I was like, if I'm gonna get the ball turn. If I feel there's some kind of vibe, let me get the ball turning on like.
Hey,
We could do this, or, I'm not going to waste my time sitting here talking for a ton. You know what I mean?
Right.
And she kind of gave off vibe that, like, she'd, like, be into, like, hanging out. At least, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know,
it's like-
actually. What does
it's
that
like-
mean? Just vibe.
Just, like, yeah, I mean,
Are you looking for it more now? Because Christine...
Sure, yeah. Why not? Because here's the
It's
thing.
a possibility. So
It's
you're
a
like,
possibility.
hey,
It's a possibility, but the possibility is still generally so slim that's like, I look for it because like it very rarely will fall in your lap. You know what I mean? You kind of have to like make something happen. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So, where was I? So I was talking to that girl. So I go on stage after the show. I go and we're literally trying to say that girl should come hang out, and she's saying yes. But she has a bike, and we're like, put your bike in a cab, and we're going. And she's like, no. She's like, I'll meet you guys at your house. I'll ride my bike over. Tell me, because we don't live crazy far from the cellar. And I'm just like, in my mind, I take that this is like fucking fat guy, like long, like,
See you later.
Whole life fat guy mentality. In my mind, I'm going like, well, that's that.
Yeah.
Like now, that's her way of saying.
That's her way of not being an asshole to you.
Again,
and not being like, I would never fuck you.
Again, the same like thing of we just said like the unspoken like want to fuck. Like, that's in my mind. She just went like she goes, guys, I think I'm gonna split. You know what I mean? Like I was like, I'm not interested. Thank you. You know what I mean? But she goes, you want to get one more drink before we go?
She said
like,
that.
Yeah. And I look at Christine. I'm like, yeah, we'll go upstairs. Fucking whatever.
Yeah.
And we go up. We go up in the olive tree, and those two girls are there, the two Australians, and they're talking to me, and they're chatting me up, and I'm talking to them, and
Well, the other one, the bike girl, is still there.
Just talking to Christine.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm talking to these girls and just being like, friendly and whatever. They're being like a little flirty, even not crazily. I think they're more talking about coke or whatever. And then Cypher Sounds comes up. He was hosting the show.
Yeah.
And like the hottest one, like darts right over
To Cypher.
to Cypher Sounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I think he's married or has a girlfriend. Yeah, it's one of those two. And he has a new baby. You know what I mean? So it's like, but I don't think about. I just like, I don't know his like background story. Like it's not in the forefront of my mind. She goes over and she's just talking to him. You know what I mean? Being very whatever. And you see she is throwing it
Adam.
hard.
Wow.
Hard.
From him hosting all night.
Yeah. I mean, she's in. Wow. And then we fucking go like we're leaving, and I'm like, these girls are gonna fucking hang out. And I was like, oh, I guess like maybe Syph will come hang out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we all go, and he just asked like kind of politely, he's like, where are you guys going? And again, it's not far, so he lets us like hop in. And I'm like, oh, this is like, we're all gonna go back to my place. I guess like maybe Syph is gonna go fuck this chick or something like that.
Yeah.
And he just pulls up. I go, you could like park over here, right here. And he just pulls over, and he's like, all right, guys. And I was like, oh, you're not coming to hang? And he was like, no. And as he's going like, nah, man, nah, I can't. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh yeah, this guy. I'm like, wow, so fucking. He's being real. He's being
girl was,
noble.
like, throwing it at him.
That girl, her mind was fucking blown.
That she was not getting it.
She couldn't believe it. It baffled her.
She was that hot? Is that pretty?
She was cute. She was a cute girl. Yeah, she was cute. Definitely. I mean, she was like, you know, I don't think he was like not attracted to her. You know what I mean?
It's not the shock.
And we got out, and you know, I said bye to him, and I jumped out, and we left, and we was like, well, we live right in the corner, you know, and the girl's like blown away. I mean, she's literally like, oh my God, like, she's stunned.
Yeah.
And we fucking come over here. I'm like, hey, you guys want to come like smoke a bowl or something? And we came in the corner here, and they started like they were sitting Indian style outside. And as we're hanging out, the fucking girl on the bike comes up. She pulls up.
She made it.
She fucking did it. She came. Done. She did want to come hang out.
She just wanted to keep her bike with her.
Just wanted to keep hang on. Well, not keep it, but she didn't want to put her bike in the trunk of a cab.
Cinderella story.
She fucking.
Do you believe in miracles?
And I make some joke, some benign, childlike.
What'd you say?
Like let's go inside and have smoke weed and have a naked party.
Oh Jesus!
Or something like that. And the Australian girls were all coked up, and we'd love to have a naked party. And she's like, I've never had a naked party before. I'm like, well, let's fucking get in there. And we went inside.
Yeah.
And I said something about like it's like a naked party. You gotta, if you're not naked in 10 seconds, you're full of shit.
That's what you said?
Yeah. And she just fucking got naked immediately, and then everyone just fucking got naked, and it was fun. It was great.
Really?
Yeah, the one girl, the bike girl, actually had her period, so she didn't do much. She split. The other two stayed.
I mean, that's not even with 4 other people, including Christine.
Yeah.
No.
What?
4, including Christine and 3 others.
Yeah.
Plus the bike girl.
No.
There were the 2 Australians, the really attractive one.
No, 2 Australians. One of them was really attractive.
Oh, okay. With 4 people, you got to think one's on their period. The odds are pretty good.
Yeah. And one was.
Yeah.
And she hung out for a while though. And I mean, she got naked. Everything. It was fucking. It was bizarre. It was fucking. I didn't fuck any of them.
You did?
No.
Just made out.
Just a bunch of weird
made
shit.
Sandwiches and stuff.
Yeah. I made us some sandwiches. Yeah. It was fucking. But it was a fun night. Definitely, it's a good story. That's what I was saying. So it's like when Ralph says his thing, like I don't know what his story is. Like I don't know how
he hooked that up.
It's like I don't know if you're gonna, even if any guy, if you have a foursome, it's like, are you gonna fuck all 4? Like, are all 4 gonna want to fuck a guy right after the? You know what I mean? Like, just the odds of finding everyone that's like equally footed cool, like, is probably pretty rare.
Dude,
or
I really had the most trouble bringing one girl back.
Yeah, I think that's would be that's my hardest thing too. Yeah, here's the thing: if you with multiple chicks, you could just phrase it so like it's all like just like everyone's laughing, like this is crazy, right? This is so absurd. What are we doing here? Like, and everyone's just kind of laughing and like, are we really gonna have? Is this gonna happen? You know what I mean? When a girl goes home with just you, it's like she's made such a decision, like she's putting herself sort of in danger.
Yeah,
like, do you know what I mean? Like,
some girl comic got beat up. Did you see that?
No, what?
Yeah, she brought some guy home, and then she was like, she didn't want to fuck him, and then he just beat the shit out of her.
No shit.
Yeah.
What girl?
I don't know. I don't know where she was. Too.
Isla Schlesinger.
I feel like, oh Jesus, I feel like it's a Canadian comic.
That's terrible, though. I want to know so bad who.
Yeah.
Really? Beat the shit out of her.
Yeah, beat her up, punched her a couple times.
That's fucking crazy.
It was me, Jay.
Did she like? Is there charges?
I don't know. I don't know if she knew his name. He got irate that he wouldn't bone her.
That's such a fucking bummer.
Yeah, you're just supposed to go home dejected.
Yeah, how's he think that's gonna work out for him? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how's he think it's gonna work out?
Honestly, once a girl says no, and once you go, come on, what? It's over. It's over. Come on, it's just done. You're not going to talk your way into it.
I feel like the Rose would. I feel like the Rose is the guy who would like do that.
Say it like that and talk them into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe DeRosa.
By the way, I'm not saying that. By the way, as an insult, because
it is a huge insult.
Is it?
Yeah, like he's going to kvetch them into fucking submitting. He's going to annoy them into
But I
submitting.
think, listen, if a girl fucks you, on some level, she had to want to fuck you. If
Yes.
you, especially if you're DeRosa, because DeRosa's not going to be violent or do
No
anything
way.
horrible or make a girl do something she doesn't want to do. But I think
Catch
DeRosa,
his way into sex.
I think DeRosa would fucking.
Come on.
Yeah, it's like, come on, what are we doing here? Whatever. It's like, to me, if a girl shows any disinterest in it, I'm wigged out that she's even there because I'm like, what were you here for, man? Then get out of here. This is weird now. It's like, what is? I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like, because look, if a girl comes back to my room, I generally speaking, like, it's because I felt the vibe of like something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's also like you're coming back to my room.
Yeah, it's like there's nothing else there.
Yeah.
Unless you play Madden.
You bring your thing on the
I'll be
road
honest with you. If a girl said she wasn't going to fuck me, but she said she plays Madden.
You might bring her back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's the problem: when a girl says, "I'm not going to hook up with you,"
I was saying more in the immediate rejection. If it was like, "Hey, so we're gonna fuck, right?" And she was like, "No, I didn't come here to fuck," and I'd be like, if I was like, that fucking sucks, and she was like, "But I play Madden," I'd be like, all right,
we can play Madden for a
I
while.
can play Madden instead.
It's just mixed signals. I don't think they understand that. When they say, "I don't want to hook up, but I will go back to your room with you," you're like, "Well, you're saying two different things."
Man,
you will hook up and you won't hook up.
Doesn't that immediately put the ball in your court, though, to be the piece of shit then?
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing power takeaway? Because you're taking this power, you're trying to take this power of like, come with me to my room, like submit, be vulnerable, and put yourself in this fucking position. And then when they go, it's like, yeah, I'll come back, but I won't fuck it. It's like you're really just like, I have to be a
don't come.
I know, and then you're like, but it's a dick move to say that.
And honestly, most of the time they end up wanting to hook up. That's a large majority of the time. That's why they go back. They just say it. So then it's like you can't say. I mean, you're still hoping. Otherwise, like, well, no, let's go somewhere else. Then
I haven't done like solo
hooking up,
like road hookups in like quite a bit of time. So it's like
a lot, but it's happened.
I just really I mean, I definitely know when it's like being thrown at me hard.
Yeah.
But I mean, one thing I am relieved. I never really did it, but it is relieving not to have to. I hate the fucking like. You and a chick were talking, and then it's like she's like, you should come. Like we're all going out to my cousin bartends, and you're like, oh man.
That's because you're not interested in making new friends. That's not what you're interested in. You'd rather just go back to your room.
But I'm also not interested in making new dude friends, really, either. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not looking for either of those things necessarily. If it happens, that means, if opening comic's a cool dude and we fucking hang out or whatever, that's fine. I've spoken to plenty of people for a length of time after comedy shows, but it's like, really, it's like, if you're in San Diego and we had an hour and a half long conversation outside, we're probably not going to stay friends. You know what I mean? It's like but that's like, I know who that guy is. You know what I mean? Like, he's like a good fan. He supports. You know what I mean? If he comes out, I'd talk to him for another hour and a half. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's nothing like a dick thing, but like, like, can I send another Christmas card out? Like, for what?
Yeah.
We have one cool dude. Yeah. How's your game going?
Well, they were down 3, the Clippers. They cut it to 3 and then immediately went up to 11.
Wow.
And now it's 9, but they had it down to 3.
This used to be, this started as a white sport.
There's none on the court, huh? But look in the stands. Look in the stands. So many.
Yeah.
One black person.
Well, those are the low level seats.
Those are the low level seats. You're right. There's one black person and his son.
Sure.
He brought his son with him. He's doing well.
Sure, the rainbow turns as you get about.
As he stood up. Yeah. Yeah. He stood up and the camera panned up, and you're like, okay, I'm seeing some color now.
That's a great narration, man.
Yeah.
That is a fantastic narration. There we go. Now we're getting a little more towards the nosebleeds. Let's get up there. There's like knife fights happening. It's like Escape from New York. Oh,
Jesus.
Get it out of here.
Griffin. So anyway.
We were going to talk about
these bad interviews.
Bad interviews, because I've had a few, for sure.
Well, that thing we saw, that's when I got the idea, when we saw that both had that interview at South by Southwest.
That was like, and we both, I believe, had pretty successful shows there.
Had you done a press junket like that before? One after the other?
Not for podcasts.
What?
Not for podcasts.
Yeah.
That was all podcasts.
No way. No, some of them were interviews in front of a camera.
Yeah. but it was a couple of those were podcasts.
Yeah, a couple of podcasts.
Like podcasts dominated the room.
Yeah,
sure.
or like, oh, how long do you have before? I still got 6 other things.
It was pretty great. It was like 2.5 hours or something.
Yeah, it was a long time.
But it was fun. We got to do it together, which was cool.
Doing it together made it way more fun.
And
those 2 we had together, 3 we had together were like pretty good.
Yeah. That was really fun. But the divide and conquer, which I'm happy we both get our experience with him, dude. There was a kid who just looked like
he was lost.
He looked like he still drives a Firebird. He had a crusty mustache.
Oh, yeah. He was a little mullety.
Yeah, he was fucking like Joe Dirt's fucking cousin or something.
He
like
sits down with them in front of his backdrop.
Yeah, and
how you doing, man?
I have a hard time collecting myself because if I do think about this interview, man, like you went first.
Yeah.
And I couldn't wait to go next. Like, I couldn't wait for my turn. And it wasn't because everything was going particularly well with you. I mean, that guy was lost.
What was he saying? Right away, he was like, he asked me questions about whether he's allowed. Come on.
I mean, he said some great stuff, and you just hear you'd hear his, like, lips smacking. I'm like, so what's up? So what else is up?
He was like Farley. He was really Farley.
But I mean, those questions. He was like a skinny, kind of scrawny kid.
Yeah,
so it was like, I mean, like those were his interview questions. Like, so what else is up? What else is up? I mean,
to start with.
I mean, and in between these things, he would ask those fucking. The only questions he had prepared were the horseshit ones.
Really
like
dumb.
like what did you goes what made you start doing comedy like that? He really had those.
Oh,
that's what he brought to the table. Was those
nothing insightful? What made you start doing comedy?
Nothing insight. Nothing like I know your shit specifically, so I requested this interview.
He asked me right from the start. He was like, "Okay, what can I ask you? What am I allowed?" I'm like, "Ask me whatever you want, man. Honestly, I'm an open book. Go ahead and ask Blake Griffin's got to get that rebound. That's 3 on him."
Dude, you were so like very encouraging to him.
Yeah,
that's what made it so funny.
Man. Don't worry about it. I'm totally. I'll answer anything.
And he was like, he really gave like, so you're here at South by Southwest. How you liking it? It was like that kind of. But oh, dude, it was so bad.
He started to try to get on me about the Amazing Racist stuff.
To get on you, or
yeah,
get, like,
he was
with
like,
you.
Do you think something's crossed the line? And I was like, no, man, no. Do you think there's some subject you shouldn't talk about?
He did talk like Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
Do you think it's proper to make fun of women? I mean, that is fucking. It's over,
wow,
buddy.
15, it's over.
This game is over.
Wow.
I mean, I've never been
lost. I've seen a lot of ones like that. What did he ask you?
Oh, I mean, I do the exact same things.
Just
he was, I believe, utterly unfamiliar with me.
Wow. And so it's like trying to figure out.
I mean, nothing going on.
Hey, so.
I mean, he's like, so.
What do you do on stage?
Do you like doing comedy here? Like, yeah, man, sure. But I was giving I already seen you, so I was really giving him like upbeat.
Trying to
absolutely, man.
Yeah, I'm
having a great time here.
Yeah, like that. Trying to help him through the interview. All right, what else? Come on, man. Something else? What do you want to ask me?
He like nod his head with not saying a word. You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, okay.
Not listening. Really worried about what his next question was going to be.
And the next question was just going to be like, you watched any music down here? I mean, it looked like he was doing it at fucking gunpoint. Like, but it was his thing, I think. God, I can't remember. I don't remember the name of it. I'm sure it never came out.
Couldn't be a worse question to ask too at the music festival with unknowns. Like, who do you like? I'm like, I don't know. I like this band. They're not going to be happy to hear it.
I was like, also, no one like who's watching this
Brad
or listening to this is going to care.
Yeah.
Did he had a girl assistant who seemed as confused? Oh man, it is going bad.
No, it's done. They're down 16. He had an assistant. Yeah, she didn't know what time it was either.
No,
she had no clue.
No, they were both baffled by the whole thing, but they had mic flags.
Yeah, made specifically for them. The boxes.
Yeah,
they had the boxes.
I mean, that's crazy.
I remember commenting on that. I'm like, oh, what do you put these on here? Like, you get them?
They fucking had mic flag. They sent out and got.
Dude, those are the guys who are like really get started with like a panache every school semester. I'm really gonna write down every assignment I have this year. Like they start with a bunch of money, probably. They probably raise like $2,000. No, let's do this right, and then have no idea how to do it in any way.
Like, why does that guy feel he should be a broadcaster?
He's David Lee Roth. His mom had the equipment.
That's so bizarre. His mom had the equipment.
Yeah, that's why he got to be in Van Halen.
Is that the story?
Yeah, his mom paid for all the fucking equipment.
That's so interesting because, like, what a voice, though. I mean, he was like a fucking amazingly unique voice. Like, that's his voice made Van Halen.
Wow. I didn't know that.
No?
I've never really gotten to Van Halen. I don't know.
But you don't acknowledge that David Lee Roth is like an awesome fucking rock voice?
I don't really know his stuff that much.
All those high pitch. Come on, Van Halen?
Panama. That?
Yeah.
What else?
Jump. I mean, that was like
Jump,
the two big
Jump.
hits. I mean, the guy's voice was awesome, but I mean, you don't know, like, ain't talking about love, and
it's not really, the voice is not coming out to me at all. I can hear the music in my head a little bit. I just wasn't into him.
Like, at some point, you're going to be in front of your computer splicing in
Van Halen
music.
I was never against them. I just never got into them.
Oh, you should give them a shot, buddy.
Yeah,
I'll give you a playlist of some Van Halen that you should listen to. You'll really enjoy.
Mark Ellis is really into him, the schmoes guy.
Huh?
Mark Ellis is into him.
Yeah?
Yeah. Anyway, I've had interviews like that before, though.
Where the person's like, it's like the same thing. It's like the same concept of when you perform in a, which I'm so happy that I'm out of the world of performing at colleges. I do love being away from that.
You did it?
I never did it with like a NACA like ever, but I'd take gigs, one-nighters at colleges. I would take them.
Done one.
And I never.
No, I wish I would have.
I've done.
Their money.
I've done a bunch, and they're decent money sometimes. I've done them for not very good money, but I never got to the point where I could garner a certain amount of money. But I just fucking hated doing them. But even one of the parts of hating it was that you'd get the student introduction of like, this next guy, Jay Oakerson, is, and then they start giving you credits after that. You're like,
oh, don't say the name in the middle. Say the name. This next guy, Jay Oakerson, is known for everyone wants to clap. And they're like, oh no, we don't. You're still talking.
It's so bad. One of the things I did, I remember this guy goes.
I like this commercial because it took a black guy and made him black and white, but they made the AM Crunch Wrap full color.
Look fucking delicious.
And it's the only way to make a man of color look like he has less color.
I did SUNY Delhi one time.
SUNY Delhi.
It's an upstate New York college.
It's freezing in here, Jay.
And I loved it, huh?
It's freezing in here.
It's so gross outside.
You're like Joey Diaz. It's freezing.
You're so Jewish.
Oh.
He goes, I'm putting a student up before you who's doing comedy now. He goes, you're going to love him. You're going to love this guy. He's like, he's really got something. Like, this guy's got somewhere to go. And it's just funny. It's like, and I my comedy is predominantly crowd work, but like, he just goes up there. He's like, I don't know what he wanted me to watch necessarily to see. And he was like, hey, look at Donnell right there in the third row. Put your big ass head, Donnell. Head heavy as shit, man. Walk around there with that big old ass head. Look at you, Tawanda. Everybody know you pregnant. Yeah, he was a student. But it was just like, he's like, you got to see this guy. I'm like, what? Just him shit talking.
And you're like, oh, you don't know what I do at all, huh? I got to see this.
You have to see this. Yeah, student interviews always would go like that too, and those bad interviews. But that's it. My worst fucking interview ever.
Yeah, was what? On
radio, or that platform.
I had one.
Was that fucking Bob and Tom, dude? They're the
why?
I always feel bad because I feel like I blame Bob for this.
Which one's Bob? The one with the baseball cap?
I think so.
Okay.
Because Bob wasn't there. Tom was there. And
one was absent.
Apparently they fucking hate each other, and the one doesn't come in barely ever.
They've both been there every time. As soon as they go to break, it's bolt seas.
No shit. I mean, when they go to break, everyone clears out.
They're nice to you, but I mean, I get it. You work with the same guy for years, and it's like,
and the chick,
I'm talking to you on air. It's like,
the chick started Kitty Lee or something like that.
Kiddingly, yeah.
Kitty Lee.
Kitty Lee,
By the way, in all fairness, because I'm going to start a radio war with Bob and Tom when
No, you're not.
me and
They're
Soda
almost
go to
done.
radio.
Oh, you are?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
When is that starting? You and Soda in radio on Comedy Central Radio.
Nothing's official yet.
It's not official yet?
Nothing's official yet.
It's May. It's supposed to be before January.
But yeah, I just have to, when it's official, we'll make an official announcement.
Yeah.
God. But it's, we're going to start a radio war in a heartbeat. Dude, I've never felt as just treated so shitty in all of my...
Why? What did they do to you?
I went in and fucking... I said I want to say, and I want to be fair to people who I should be fair to. The girl, Kitty Lee, I think her name is, she was, at the end of the day, I guess, nice. You know what I mean? Like, she wasn't too shitty. But you do 3 hours with them, or 2 hours with them, and it was... I mean, I was like watching the clock in school, but they give you the rundown of all the what it's going to be like. It's all
the lead-ins. I hate
it's all confusing because like some of it's for just local and some of it's for fucking international. And the reality is, I would have liked to do good on the show. One, I'm excited. I'm like, oh, I know this show. I don't know the show, but I mean, I've heard of Bob and Tom for years and years now. I'm doing it. That's kind of neat, That'll be kind of fun to do. And but all those rules, and I'm like, okay, it's fine, I've never cursed on radio that like I couldn't curse. I mean, I've never messed up or they've had to fix it or anything.
I do once a week.
Really?
If I do 3 spots, I'll fuck up. No, once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
If I do three spots, yeah.
I never do it. I know I'm so dirty that I'm very aware. Wow.
Damn, and he missed the dunk. Better put that in, motherfucker. Oh, you try to do a tomahawk dunk alley-oop when you're down by 20. Oh, then you got the ball back and fucked it up again.
And they're laughing.
Why catch it with one hand, you motherfucker? You're down 20, you asshole. Yeah, good job.
He's laughing.
He's laughing
which
at it.
Which is pretty stupid because
he feels so embarrassed, but he should.
It's pretty embarrassing.
Fourth quarter, down 20. Your season's on the line. You blew games 5, 6, and 7.
Where were we, pothead? Oh, Bob and Tom.
Yes.
Yeah, they just like they fucking they wanted bits from me, which I said I wasn't going to do. So I gave
the bits. It was like, can't we just take callers? But they can't. They don't take callers.
I said to give them. They're all fake callers.
Here's the problem, Jay.
I gave him 5 facts about me, and this guy, when he would acknowledge me, he wouldn't even look at me. I mean, he made no eye contact with me. There was no conversation happening.
Yeah.
You can hear me going like, yeah, I did used to do that job. Like, I'm like, what do you like? Almost going to them, kind of getting them to want to know, what do you want to know about it?
So how would he bring it up? How would he bring it? What would he say? He would like, so you used to be
Jay,
a
he goes, you used to be a bouncer at a strip club or something? And then he would just start going like literally doing something else. He would just start actively doing a different thing.
What do you mean? Like typing in his computer?
Just like, yeah. Like exactly, yeah, like getting other cars. It's just like it was no conversation.
Like messing with sheets and stuff.
And the girls going through papers, and there's some crusty old dude who's there and sits there and it's like crotchety and it's like, I don't know this guy from a hole in the wall fucking thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just fucking a Chick. I think his name might be Chick. I don't know if that's true. If I open his
Chick. Yeah, there's a Chick.
Is it Chick?
Right? That sounds right.
It's Chick then.
He's the stat guy?
And he wasn't like... He was pretty cold, I'd say, to me also. But again, all I remember is that was that hostess. I've never felt like... And then like when he shook my hand at the end... Oh, well, at one point... Again, when they go to commercial every time, they all split, and the chick stayed behind, and she was griping that they throw her under the bus and mess up her story with their... She didn't want to tell the story, and then they make her look like an idiot or something because she had her facts wrong. Yeah. But they like to throw me under the bus and make me like a goddamn fucking idiot. She was like so like cursing and like upset, like in between break. I'm just sitting next to her. I'm like, oh yeah, this thing, it's a little awkward in here, huh? She keeps telling me, and when the show was over, I was like, "Thank you for having me on." And he shook my hand as he was walking past me and never looked at me. And he goes, "Thanks, man."
Wow.
And then he looked, and I was like, "Or thanks, buddy, whatever, you know." No, holy shit, man! It was like I went back. I was like, and why I was furious was I said I was doing that Crackers Club, and notoriously the lady who runs that club, people were very nervous of her because
why? I love her.
I fucking love her.
Yeah.
She loves me. She comes to all my shows.
We fight.
You and her fight?
Oh, yeah. But, like, on an equal level.
Yeah.
We have arguments, and then we get over it. We have fun with each other.
Oh, yeah. I think she's great. She's treated me with nothing but, like, she's been fantastic to me.
Yeah.
I love her. So I wanted to do well on that show.
Yeah.
And,
it's a pleasure.
And then, but the thing is, my personality is very well. I'm not confrontational, but I could be publicly confrontational pretty well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it comes up like something like that. But also, if I feel like I'm being fucked with, I'm very confrontational. I don't like being confrontational. You know, if it's like someone owes me money, I hate asking for. I feel like it's my fault somehow that I'm asking you for the $10. You know what I mean?
So non-confrontational you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't mind being in a confrontation if I'm in it, like I'm ready to be in it. So I felt like they were being so dicky to me. Less than an hour into that 2 hours, I would have fucking I would have made radio history. Yeah, I mean, I would have just not even left. I would have fucking
if not for Ruth Ann, you mean?
Huh?
If not,
but I didn't want to let her down, man. So I just ate shit and
took it.
When we got in the car, she kind of said, like, "Man, they were a little shitty to you, huh? I'm really sorry about that." And I was like, "Yeah," and I think she was even kind of like, "You should have,
Really?
done." I was like, "Ruth, but I really attest to me." I go, "I just didn't want to let you down." And then I went, and I'm telling you, I moped I called like several people, and I was like, "Dude, I just had I'm so angry at myself. It was just a shitty radio appearance."
Wow.
For 2 hours, me sitting there, like they just.
You know,
everything I said, they just didn't acknowledge. They didn't laugh. Then they would then they played like a comics fucking shitty bit, some fucking road hack nonsense that they fucking played, and and they're all like saying the words along with it, and they all come together on that in the room. They all laughed at the joke together, and it was like, what are we doing? This show is so stupid.
What they really like is someone having prepared like a song or some like material, so they can just lead you in. You can just go,
and then they have that tape for the rest of their life.
Yeah,
man.
They said no to Joey Diaz. He got there the day before. He had to, you know. They got to do Bob and Tom. He got to get the day before. He hates getting somewhere the day before, and then that day they're like, "Nah, they don't want you." He's like, "What?" Yeah, they said he was unsavory in some way or something. He was livid. I actively seek out Indianapolis radio stations so I can trade with Ruth Ann. I had a publicist this year for when This Is Not Happening came out. And
to say I don't want to do.
And I was like, she was like, anything, she would help me with like local gigs. You know that girl Pam?
No.
Veters? No, not Veters. Whatever.
Oh, Tinkles.
Yeah, Tinkles.
Yeah, I know Pam.
And so she'd help me with like get on radio stations when I was going in Portland or whatever. And I was like, anything else? Like, yeah, before you go, can you call some Indianapolis radio stations for me? Just to get me in with them.
Yeah.
Because I want to trade Ruth Ann. I'm like, look, I'll do 4 other places if you just don't make me go to Bob and Tom.
I mean,
it's so boring. It's tell us your lead-in jokes. It's like, are you kidding?
Well, the beauty
that's not what I do, man. That's not what I do. It's like, it's no offense to them. It's just, that's not me.
Well, you know, it's funny.
If I had funny songs, it'd be great.
I always heard their like success stories, like how big they were for.
Yeah, but like Greg Warren.
Greg Warren is it, and Birbiglia, and all that stuff, and all these people that they've been huge. I think Regan, you know what I mean, like through the years.
But their fan base is older now.
Very much, but
they're not going out.
But it's not even just that. I'm just saying, with all of those like people, there have been the success stories. But why I'm excited to get on radio and start this like kind of opening the fucking floodgates, and this is because the more I tell my story to comedians, they're like, "Oh yeah, man, fuck Bob and Tom, fuck that shitty show," and they treated me like, and I'm telling you, it'll be a fucking floodgate. It'll be a regular segment of comics talking about how much they fucking hate. I bet it's true.
You're right.
Why?
Everyone's just bored with it.
Why single me out? They didn't single me out. I assume they treat a lot of people like that, but I was just like, I was most upset because I was like, why did I just eat that shit? I mean, why would I be ignored like a fucking moron?
That's like, I hope to get out of there soon. It fills me with dread having to think of the 5 things I can talk about, because all I'm gonna do is like, oh, well, like, let's just say they brought up ISIS. Maybe I have, like, a joke I've been telling my friends about ISIS or something. So I'm like, ISIS, maybe. It's just like that's as much as I can give them. I'm like, I can't do bits for you. I can't. I'll hate it.
There's the John DeBella show.
Yeah, and all the rules.
John DeBella show in Philadelphia.
What's John DeBella?
They don't want me on anymore.
Which one's John DeBella?
He's
John DeBella.
He's the original Howard Stern funeral. They had, when he would go do funerals in a city, when he would go become number one, when he
attacked John DeBella
in Philly, he beat John DeBella out. That was the big thing, and they had the big funeral for John DeBella in Philly.
That's what Rogan and Segura said I did to Howard Stern. They were like, he would do that, talking to the mic, not below it.
Oh,
but I don't know if it's coming up.
I think. Sometimes. I had it in front of me.
It was like down. It was like
I was Henry Rollins in that shit.
Yeah. But they said that's what I did. Called out somebody ahead of me and then got them all worked up just to get me publicity. I'm like, that's not what I was trying to do. I was just trying to say how irrelevant he is.
Oh, well, I mean,
shit what he says. But anyway,
starting a radio war with Bob and Tom is not going to. I mean,
it's not going to do anything to you. They are annoying.
Yeah, it's not going to do anything.
You're going to have so many people say, "This is not my style. Why am I in here?"
I mean, they could.
They told Segura not to talk about bicycles. He's like, "All right, bicycles. No, we can't talk about bicycles because." Some reason that he couldn't talk about bikes.
But I gave things when I was like, I have a daughter. That was the one thing I said.
Yeah.
He's like, what do you have? I go, what's like the joke about? I'm like, I don't.
No, man, let's start talking about it.
Like, if you want to ask me about having a daughter, I will talk about.
They got to start over every 6 minutes.
Here's the bit. Tom asked me, so you have a daughter, huh? And I'll go, yeah. You have kids? Are they adults? Do you have boys or girls? Mine's a girl. Blah blah blah. Doesn't this suck? Soccer game last week, something funny happened. Like whatever it is, like
yeah.
Why do they come to the show? Aren't we promoting the show? Like, why would I give some of the show away? So they have a bathroom break at some point when I do this fucking bit.
Oh well, you couldn't do anything you were gonna do that week.
Of course, but I don't. But my mind is that I'm never gonna do anything ever that I'm gonna do ever on radio.
I don't know why they just can't.
Unless I come up with it on radio and then make it a material.
Let's make funny things out of calls or whatever's in the news. Whatever you guys had planned to talk about, let's just riff on that.
Yeah.
Right? Or interview me, one or the other.
Preston and Steve, dude, in Philly.
They're good.
They know how to do it.
Yeah.
Those guys
those
guys are class act.
From those guys.
The what?
I found out what the meat sweats were.
Oh, yeah.
I never knew. And I was like describing my symptoms from the cheesesteak. And they were like, yeah, man, the meat sweats. I was like, what? That's what they told me what it was.
You had so much cheesesteak.
So much cheesesteak.
That's what you do in Philly.
It's when you wake up sweating and in pain.
That's what I had last night, was a cheesesteak while I watched the Allen Iverson documentary.
Really? That's respect.
Yeah.
That's respect.
I did that.
Dude, I remember Wilbon and Kornheiser going back and forth in the Washington Post about Iverson and whether or not he deserves a second chance and, like...
After the jail thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you were around there...
Yeah.
When he was going through that.
Yeah.
Do you remember hearing his name as a high school star?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Dude, his highlight reel in high school...
It was a big deal.
They had a trap set on him that landed right, where they trapped in the backcourt.
Uh-huh.
And so these two guys hit it perfectly, shoulder to shoulder. As he's trying to go around one, the other just locks up like fucking Legos. And like he ain't going anywhere. And so he has one step. He's going to bowl them over. Or they're going to steal the ball. There's no way around it. He's going full speed to get around the one guy before the other comes in. But he jumped up and then split them in the air as he puts the ball behind his back and then throws it through his own legs and just goes right through them. It was just like, what?
Yeah,
the turnaround dribble through the leg when you go around somebody because they're expecting you to... yeah, it was unbelievable.
That's so crazy to know that in high. I didn't become aware of him. My buddy was...
And then they charge him with maiming by mob, whereas people in his group threw a chair while a fucking full-on brawl broke out.
Yeah.
And they charged him with being in the group and...
They charged him and his two buddies.
And it was like, from all accounts, like he didn't touch anything. He was just grabbing some people and said, let's get out of here.
Yeah, I think they said in the video he leaves, apparently. Look, I don't know. It does seem pretty fun. I mean, he got pardoned, so...
But only because it came to like the governor's attention.
Yeah,
like,
he said Tom Brokaw.
There's really no proof.
Made it a thing. Yeah, are they going to make it now? This is over.
I think they are. They got 16 and they stopped trying again.
I mean, yeah, they really...
I can't believe they blew that game 6 when they were up 19.
They should be ashamed of themselves.
Turn this off. Sickens me.
You give it up? No, you can't give it up now.
Wizards sympathizer, not Wizards, Clippers. I mean, Tebow and Tripoli must be ready to shoot themselves. They were already talking about finally we get to the Western Conference Finals. It was 3-1.
Yeah, dude, I fucking with Iverson. That's my only. I was actually telling Christine this last night. I have two, and one of them will bum me out. Two sports moments that I was at live ever that I'm like that I have like a real like I'm happy because I've never been to a playoff game in my life ever or a championship.
Were you at the press conference when he said practice? We talking about practice?
No, I wish. You gotta watch the documentary. That's an interesting story. That whole that's like a big chunk of the movie.
Really?
It's like that practice story. He says like you have to listen to that whole interview. It doesn't come off quite as like how they make that soundbite sound.
Oh, everyone goes, but I know what I heard. I'm like,
Yeah, he's also saying his friend got like killed like 2 days before that.
And you're talking about practice.
That's what it's literally what he's saying.
Oh wow!
All
they made it seem was like he didn't have to practice.
John Thompson comes to his defense, and the thing he goes, I know how they make that clip sound. He goes, but listen to what he's saying. He's like, I'm not saying practice isn't important. Also, in that same press conference, he goes, and we're sitting here talking about practice. He goes, you think I don't think practice is important? He goes, how am I going to be? He's like, I've been in at that point he was like 8-time All-Star, scoring champion 3 times, blah blah. And you think I don't practice? Like you don't think I practice? That's all in that same interview. It's pretty interesting.
Wow.
It was good. It
really is. You can't take shit out of context. You can't let him take it out of context, or just out of. It's like you have to see the whole thing.
Yeah, he was like, my friend just died. He goes, my friend just died, and we just lost in the first round of the playoffs again. And he goes, and we're talking, we're talking about practice. It's like we lost the game.
Wow, that's so different. Than
it
was sold to us.
Yeah. It really is sold differently. But to have that kind of high school like potential, man. Go to fucking waste, man. I know a couple people who like were like high school like
phenoms.
You're just like you were like. I mean, I guess it seems like a phen. When there's a dominant dude, like one dude and something like they seem like phenoms in the school because they're the best in that school, and then you get them on
Rasheed
a largest.
Wallace had all his stats from high school. Like those are pretty gaudy, and then you look at his minutes played.
Yeah,
and he was on like DeMatha, or one of the best schools in the country, and he played like
in high school
the game. Yeah.
No, high school he went to
Wooten?
Simon Gratz.
Okay. One of those like prep, crazy schools. But he played like less than half the games.
Oh,
not the games, less than half in each game.
Oh, yeah.
He played like 12 minutes, 14 minutes, and then he'd sit because they were up by 40.
Yeah.
So it was like, what was his stats? I mean,
yeah, I remember him playing around. I remember him in Simon Gratz High School.
Dude, you have a cookie or something? I'm getting low blood sugar. For real, I'm getting all head rushy, sweating.
What do you want?
I have
cashews.
Cashews might work.
Oh, you know what? Yes, dude. There's Oreos.
Oh yeah, that'd work. Fuck. Sitting down and all. Don't you have some of your daughter's goddamn cookies? The one she sold me were bullshit, man. Do-si-dos. I want my money back. Tell her I want my money back. Thin Mints or the fucking ones with coconut stuff on it, or the good ones, the peanut butter ones. Do-si-dos. The texture's all wrong.
The balls on that prick.
Oh, you're stale. These are so stale.
Stale Oreos?
Oh my god.
Awful?
I mean, yeah, I'll have one more just because I'm passing out.
Why don't you have a couple?
Not awful.
There's Cool Ranch Doritos.
But way softer than you'd expect them to be.
It's hilarious. All these things. A lot of these things go stale because I don't eat like sugar, so they sit there.
Dude, I'm proud of you for being on this diet.
Thanks, bro.
How long has it been? And by that I mean, how many pounds have you lost?
I don't know. I can't weigh myself.
Why? Because you can't reach around your fat belly? Yeah, Joe's becoming less relevant.
I can't look down and see what the scale says over my huge fat body. Oh, shit. Great answer. I gotta make an upset video.
Oh, yeah. You don't know how much you've lost?
No.
You're different sizes, though, right?
Yeah.
I can see that.
And some things were like fit much better.
I'm sorry, everybody. We'll be done chewing in like 1 minute. They hate it. They hate that more than anything.
I get ready to go do the weekend sex.
Oh, what? The other one?
Yeah.
No. We haven't even gotten close, Jay.
How much longer do you need?
I don't know. At least a little while. We haven't gotten to the rest of the bad interviews.
Sure.
I did one with Rogan. This guy was like an NPR type show. and this guy was so lost. And that's when Rogan would just I would like go to keep him company in the morning.
Right.
I felt bad that he was filling up these showrooms, and I'm like letting him be bored so I can sleep till 11.
Oh, I'd go with a tell to every radio.
Really?
Always.
It's just like, let me keep you company.
Always. It made me furious when I had buddies go on the road with me and not go to radio.
Really?
They'd be like, they're not going to get me on or anything, dude. I'm like, all right, motherfucker, but like,
I tell them they don't have to bother, but if they want to, they're more than welcome to come if they want to see it. And some guys do. Some guys like, I want to see what it's like.
And you're definitely saying to them, like, it'd be nice, dude, to have you get up to, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I don't know. It sucks.
That's what Dave knocked.
But I didn't mind. But Rogan would in turn try to get me on a bunch, and he would, you know. And I know that's how he got me on O&A.
Right.
I was respectful. I know this isn't about me, but they would turn to me. They were the ones who treated me the most like an equal, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. They would throw shit to me, you know. Where everyone else would just like, if I could say something, if it fit, or Joe would include me.
Right.
But they were just like, cool. You seem like a comic. You're here.
Yeah, that was great. Always including me.
That's nice.
Well,
anyway,
Jay's really the guy who knows.
This one guy was so bad, I just had to take over. I wasn't being included. I was just there with him, and eventually, I just had to like lean over to his mic. I'm like, because the guy knew nothing about him, and he was like, "So you fight in Taekwondo championships right now?" He goes, "No, I did like 20 years ago." Oh, and you're a farmer? No, what? And I just had to take over. It was like, so Joe, tell us about the UFC and how it's working that way. We just had a back and forth for a while. It was fun.
Holy shit.
I love how untrained they can be. Like when Stern talks about how like some podcasts are terrible, it's like that's discounting the fact that most radio is garbage.
Yeah,
or a lot of it.
Most radio's garbage, and
like you don't have to be good to be sixth in the market.
Look, it's also no secret why that Stern thing again, man. It was so just like the thing is.
What did you think of that? You're a fan of his.
A gazillion. Oh yeah, a gazillion. Oh, he just looked like it was just. It's awful, man. I just dated him. It was not the first for sure, but like that was one of the biggest chinks in his armor I've found in that story. Maybe. That's what it was because I mean I still you walked in today I was listening to him. I'm still a fan.
I heard
like
it was just like, oh poor guy, let's get you inside. You feel bad for him.
Absolutely, because he's just saying.
You don't have any idea what you're talking about.
He's just saying a thing. I mean, I just found out like one of our buddies. I was telling you before the thing, like, are making like 6 figures off podcasts.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's fucking pretty great.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly. That's right.
Wow. Listen, I never used Vine. I never used it, but
doesn't mean it's not for anybody.
I go and I'd go. Vine seems like a waste of time for me, but I paid $50 a ticket for my daughter to go to Webster Hall to see a Vine celebrity.
Did you really?
Yeah, that we talked about that. Remember that guy Taylor Kniff or whatever? He's a Vine star because he has
come out for 6 seconds and leave.
He does a meet and greet, and then he comes out and sings along to popular music and has all the little girls sing along with him in the audience.
My favorite is that Justin actually represents someone like that, I'm sure. Yeah. I know he represents the medium lady.
Long Island medium?
Non-comedian stuff. Where I'm like, what do you do? And they go, they set up a stage. They told me this for like the dangerous catch. They set up a stage. They make it look like a fucking seafaring thing. And then they tell a few stories. And they shake hands. Everyone's happy to see. I'm like, there's no jokes? I'm like, they're not trying to make jokes. Not all public appearances are jokes. And I'm like, oh, it's so foreign to me.
I think the Impractical Jokers show is probably pretty cool.
That's probably pretty cool.
Because they're going to show you footage. They all come from like, at least comedy or improv, sketch background. So
maybe they do something too.
Yeah, I think they do question and answer with the crowd. I mean, it's an interactive show and it's like a lot of fun. They like doing it.
Yeah.
I know. And like,
I'm saying, do they do some of the pranks right there?
No, they don't do any of the pranks, but they show ones that they've never aired, never were able to air. Cause maybe I think they're a little racier and all that kind of shit.
I went to one of Renazisi had a premiere thing here.
Yeah,
and then Sheer and was going to run a quick Q&A afterwards, and I just came with him and I sat in the stands where he had to go up on the dais,
right, for
the league. And I realized these are all super fans, and they get to see the first episode early, and they're all super stoked on it. But what were we just talking about? Speaking of bad interviews, why did I bring any of this up? Why did I bring any of this up?
Well, we were talking about bad interviews.
No, but right before
you
serious stuff.
Justin manages someone, Vine celebrity.
Yeah, I guess. But anyway, it was like that. They just wanted to ask them questions about the league.
Yeah,
and it was
right.
interesting. That's what it was. From a fan's point of view, it's like, oh, this is really interesting.
Yeah.
Hearing if there's any things that, got cut out or,
Oh, yeah, no, that's stuff that would be very interesting. Like, that's what I said. I think the Impractical Jokers give you exactly what they want. I bet people don't leave like, that was dumb.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, those things make money, though. But, yeah, I mean, like, the guy who just, like, does a meet and greet because he has abs is pretty, like, that's really cashing in on some shit.
Yeah. Oh, the Long Island Medium does medium shit.
Well.
Medium. Right, exactly. It's so clearly fake. He started on me. It's like, dude, you haven't seen it.
Who?
Justin.
Justin's a believer?
Yeah, he's a believer. He's a Long Island mediumer.
Ironically, talk about the 6 degrees of separation, like Sal from Stern Show is like friends with her and her husband, and he's always pushing for her to come in to do the show.
Yeah.
And she like won't do it and stuff like that because like what he says, he goes, yeah, because he doesn't want her on basically. Yeah. But he tells Sal, he goes, tell her she can come on, and I'm gonna and she'll have to prove to me that, and I'll say honestly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he likes to disprove
everything,
which I like that. I think that's kind of cool. He does that thing with. He's got that thing with pretty interesting when Valerie Harper,
who's Stern.
Yeah, when she came in, when she was like. She's going through, I still believe, or did she die?
Divorce?
She didn't. Did she die, Valerie Harper?
Valerie Harper? Oh, was she the one stalked? No.
No, she just got cancer.
Oh.
And she was like dying. And
she
came on Stern, and he just gave her like the thing was like, tell me the magic word, and I'll go to a medium after you die, and I'll tell you if the medium says the word.
Really?
Yeah. So he's invited the Long Island medium to prove herself, but she's always like, oh, I need 20 minutes alone with the subject. It's like, do you? Like, do you? Why? To get some information that you could twist into some bullshit, probably?
I'm sure it's not parlor tricks, even though they're always parlor tricks. Yeah. Well, let's talk about Stern. Let's talk about great interviewers. Let's talk about people like that. Like, who do you think is like the best?
For interview?
Yeah, like who makes great? I mean, they talk about.
I think he's got.
I
think he's gotten fluff now. Stern on people, but on people because like he's
at one time he was sick.
He's a Hamptons guy, but he still asks the questions to somebody, but it's a little more tongue in cheek. Like I used to like when he would harp on like, look, he asked I've gotten Christine into him more now in her life than she's ever listened to him before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she listens kind of through me and definitely enjoys to some degree, but it's like. She says, as far as interviews go, like he is the quintessential, like who you fucking and how much do you make? You know, what I mean, that's kind of what I want to know.
But he gets into it though.
About Ryan Flippy. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, he gets into it and makes people like admit stuff. He used to.
Yeah, and he really used to get people to say shit. And he still, but now like the Madonna thing was like...
the McCartney one. He didn't ask Madonna about the accent.
McCartney
seems like they're like pre-given questions.
Yeah, it seems very like he's taking...
He loves celebrities now.
Yeah, he does.
Instead of like...
going at them,
Yeah.
The way he used to, which was like...
it's uninteresting.
So it's made him a lot... But
I think Bennington is one of the best
is
around.
Fucking fantastic. And
His
why he's so great is a different thing. And there's definitely funny moments in all of them. But what he's just great at is, like, I really feel everyone he interviews, I feel like he completely, like, knows. Like, when I walked into that show, I got in there, literally, I was sort of encouraged. Well, Christine, I guess, encouraged me the first time almost to go, like, this is like before we were even dating or something. She was like, if you like that show so much, why don't you
go in there?
Like, why don't you try to go in the show? I was like, I wouldn't even know. She goes, you don't know anybody that's serious at all? I was like, oh, I knew Pete Dominic. I asked Pete Dominic. Pete Dominic goes, oh, yeah, I know those guys. I know the producer over there. I'll give me your email or something like that. And then the guy emailed me.
Wow, really?
And then they were like, sure, man, like, come on whenever you want. And when I walked in that show,
really?
and I was a fan of that show for years and years. And I listened like every day, actually.
Wow.
And I was like, when I went in there the first time, I just felt like he knew. And I don't think he did know who I was, but I think he found out who I was
because
when they said I was coming in. Even if he did a fucking 25-minute YouTube search.
You're saying he's that good?
He just like so. I think when he talks to people, he's like,
yeah, I felt like he knew me too.
I just know when you walk in, you're like, it's like I know Dave Smith. who is
Yeah, I had those moments of like, I don't remember telling
is still
you that.
swinging for like a major credit in some way. Dave
Yeah.
Smith, when he went in there, he just knew that Dave's like a politics guy. He just knows it's interesting, man. That's a really really cool broadcasting.
And his
skill.
unmasked are like, I mean, he really gets naked with people.
Yeah, and I also just love he does something so cool in radio that really I may be assigning something to it that's not the case, but I bet if maybe he even thought about it, if it's not conscious, he might agree.
Yeah,
He's got these triggers in his like vernacular that when certain things are said,
yeah,
like he just says the same thing every time. So the best it's better to give an example of it. Every time someone mentions the word October, October, he just corrects you to Rocktober. If someone says documentary, he just says rockumentary. But they literally go, it's like, oh, you're like, oh, Ron, I watched this documentary last night. And he just goes, rockumentary. Like he chimes in, like during your thing, and Rocktober, and like, people call him like Ronnie, Ronnie $1,000,000. They'll say when they call him, he's like, feel like $1,500,000. Just like these weird quick things.
yeah.
That he's like, they're repetitive almost, but it makes me feel like that's how he keeps himself engaged. Like he's almost listening for his triggers. So it's like it's a good way to pay attention, because I've been in radio shit, man, with people that were so bad that at a point, you just realize you were like, oh, I don't even know what the fuck we're talking about. I started thinking about if I'm going to get breakfast after this or if I'm going to go back to sleep.
You're so bored. I'm
disconnected. And then they're kind of like, goes, and Jay, you must see things like that from time to time on the road, and you're like, what are we fucking talking about, dude? Like, I must see things like what from time to time? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I just tuned out.
I am lost.
They do that when they cover all the news and the what's it called, when they have to do all that and they don't include you completely. So you're just kind of like looking around, because it's so boring what the traffic is. I don't care what the traffic is in the I-9, like that, and they're not including it. So it's just like, and then all of a sudden, like you're back in and you're like, oh, what were we saying?
Yeah, you're just fucking confused.
You can't like just ignore me. It's like you're all of a sudden like people are just on their cell phone, fucking looking at their Twitter. And then said like, right? And like, what?
Yeah,
Like,
they're doing something else totally. Like, and you're like, I thought we're engaged in a conversation.
It's weird.
And that's what I've never felt on a Ron and Fez show.
Disengaged.
I never felt like they checked out on me. I never felt checked out on what they were talking about. And I felt involved.
Yeah.
I felt the liberty.
What are they doing?
I felt the liberty. I felt the liberty that they trusted me to like chime in when I thought something was funny and not like bull through the show. And I know he's running the ship. I definitely I bow to him for sure. So it's fun, man. That they got the right fucking vibe. Now it's Bennington, him and his daughter, and Chris Stanley.
Him and his daughter.
His daughter Gail. Yeah.
What do they call the show?
Bennington.
I
think they call Chris Stanley now Chris Stanley Bennington. Like, he's made him a family member.
Is it weird with
Stanley
Fez not
Bennington
there anymore?
I mean, Fez, essentially,
I only knew them as Ron.
It's more weird. It's not weird like not hearing Fez's voice. It's weird not hearing it at all. Obviously, he's a part of the show. But I mean, Fez was a little like checked out.
He was gone for a while before he left.
Yeah, I think he would agree with that. You know what I mean? Like, that's why he retired. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's not so weird not hearing like Fez anymore as it is hearing the interaction now with like a whole new like partner and his daughter. But she's great.
It's a new thing to get used to.
She's great. I'm curious to see the vibe, like, because I definitely
we get filthy with.
I was just gonna say we've had some filthy moments, and Christine says she feels like a different vibe when she listens and hears sexual stuff come up. That there's a different thing, and I'm like, oh well, that is like. I'm curious to see what my vibe will be going into that show. I hope it's great because
you haven't been there yet since.
No. I will be very soon. But when they, when I go in there, I'd be curious to see what my initial vibe is with that show. Like I wonder if I'll like kind of just like organically
mesh. or not.
Yeah.
A lot of it, though, honestly, is just
I hope to work with him
chemistry.
forever. I mean,
Where
I
it's
think
like
he's the best.
you think the same as I do, like
Yeah.
Norton and O&A. He was
Yeah.
just as kind of like depraved as them. They liked that he was that way, and it's just a good combo. It's just a good match.
Yeah. And by the
But
way,
other things, Norton and Bob and Tom would not have been a good match.
no. And weirdly enough, like I'm like I'm very dirty, obviously, and like pretty perverse in like my humor. And I don't think Ron and Fez show was over the top, but they just gave me room to do mine. Like they played so well off of it too. Like they weren't, none of them are afraid of it. I mean, like they all have foul mouths. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like Chris Stanley was nonstop cursing, and you can say whatever.
So
you
how
want.
are they normally? They're not that. I guess they're not really dirty. I've listened. I got into them little when I would listen to O&A.
No, they will.
And then hear them afterwards. And I was like, oh, this is not bad.
I mean, like dirty. They're not like dirty. And then here's the thing: like I don't necessarily need to be dirty. That's what it is. I don't need to be dirty as long as I can be foul. If that's what makes sense. Like, well, like the things. I mean, some of the laughs that I remember from Ron and Fez are just like one of the weirdest things. Like a guy hanging up on Chris Stanley. Like one thing he was like he called him like a fucking jerk off or something like last second. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's like Fez, love you, buddy. Ronnie B, you're the best. Chris Stanley, go fuck yourself. And then you just hang up, and Chris Stanley, in his words, you hear his anger build. And I quote it all the time.
I remember that you played that.
A lot of people don't.
He's like, I don't care, whatever, it doesn't matter. But it's like, why would he do that?
No, he goes. He's so uncomfortable. He builds up. He goes, go fuck yourself, Chris Stanley. He goes. Oh, I mean, that was an unnecessary fucking comment, you fucking cunt face. like hearing his ire build through being like, why would you say something like that? To go fuck yourself was that twist. And I was like, and the fact that you can call somebody a cunt face, I like that. That I mesh well with Ron and Fez because they will laugh at me saying whatever my cunt face word is. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they laugh at that. Like they laugh at just funny words. Doesn't matter if it's clean or not.
Yeah, openness.
So I don't
openness is a really good
I've
thing.
never gone on there and talked about like
just being open to like
grotesque fucking sexual stuff ever. But we just curse. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, poker room or some shit.
Yeah, just shit talk, and it's like, and he describes it great, man. He goes, I get paid to do what I did. My favorite thing to do when I was a kid, go sit on the fucking street corner with my buddies and talk shit.
Yeah.
And that's such a great approach. But you see these grizzled road motherfuckers, they say these bad interviewers that like, they just don't give a shit, dude. I mean, Bob and Tom.
Comics, where it's just
Bob
like,
and
you're just
Tom,
going through the motions, huh?
even if it's not my thing.
Yeah.
At some point, they had to be engaged and fucking like, let's make another fucking thing. They worked as a team. They probably both gave a shit really hard.
They're coasting now.
You get to a point, yeah. I wonder if that's where O&A kind of were. I mean,
Dude, I see a lot of managers and agents.
I think Anthony kind of said that in when we talked to him, like in an interview, like I don't want to misquote it all, but I thought that same kind of thing. It was like there was a point where it was like, every night after the show they'd go out for drinks, so you could like, got tomorrow's show, man. What do you want to have ready? We're gonna fucking blow away today's show,
right?
And it got to a point where the show's over. It was like peace.
Yeah, I gotta get to my life. Oh, they're trying to foul Dwight Howard as fast as possible. Look, Chris Paul jumping on his back, literally trying to piggyback him.
I like that Dwight Howard didn't even really get that shitty about it either. He's like,
That's Chris Paul.
I get what he's trying to do.
Yeah, I get what he's trying to do. I'm a bad foul shooter. I get
the point.
I see my liability here. You got to go.
Yeah, I have to go, yeah.
Who's a good podcast interviewer? I think Maron's pretty good.
I mean, Maron, I think I said this to you the other day, even like, because I had a long conversation with Lewis and those guys about the future Legion of Skanks.
Yeah.
And some of the good things like that I have coming up that I should be able to announce some of these things soon, like on several different platforms, you know what I mean? Like, and I was like, wow, it's like there's some cool things happening now, or at least they're in motion, or I'm in the conversations of things, even if they aren't happening necessarily right yet.
Yeah.
Like I'm just in a different position than I was like 5 years ago, and 5 years ago I was still like, 12 years in the comedy. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's that kind of like where you're 12 years in the comedy and you're kind of like, none of these things are in motion. I'm not really being looked at anything. I got to look at where like the start of that stuff and like the sum of what all of it was. And, things like, I said this, I mean, you've been help that I could never have dreamed, someone being as helpful as you've been to me, and and like offshoots of that are like Rogan, and and the Ron and Fez show I owe so much to. You know what I mean? Like them putting me in front of their audience was huge, but 5 years ago, dude, almost to the date, nothing. But I did a one-man show that was not good at Montreal.
Yeah.
Same year I did your storytelling thing up there, 2010. It was not a very good one-man show. It was thrown together. It was not really prepared well. It wasn't super funny. I didn't have a lot of confidence in it, so I wasn't even loose in telling it funny. Yeah. Truth be told, if I went back in time, if I would have had a few shots before I did each show every night,
cool.
I probably would have done very well with it. I would have let myself spin out of control a little more with it and have fun. It just wasn't fun. But the stories, Marin came to one of the first shows, and he liked the stories I told of this trajectory of like me doing these bouncing jobs and starting out in the black rooms and comedy.
Yeah.
And when he goes, next time you come to LA, which I was doing like 2 weeks, he goes, come to the garage, and he put me in that pocket, and that was the first thing and that was the first time I was like, I got a text from like Andy Kindler, not a text, but like a Facebook from Andy Kindler. It was Jay, a fantastic, amazing thing, man. Great to hear. And we didn't ever talk like that before. And that meant something to me. I'm like, oh wow,
wow.
Andy Kindler's reaching out. That was such a cool thing, and like,
Kindler's a cool
and I
guy.
started getting noticed, like, just off of that Marin. I loved you. You are my favorite. What the
was
fuck?
that early on in Marin?
Ish. It was a couple years in at that point. But I was like,
he was like the only one for a while. So
yeah, but it was still huge numbers. Yeah.
But I'm saying, and all the comedians would listen to it too.
Yeah, and that was like the fucking like the
early half-hour
that was the platform of like me starting to get some Twitter followers then and doing all this stuff, and then and then Justin coming on board.
So
and
that interview was good. You're saying?
I mean, as I'm saying, like, so in good interviews, like it's like so Marin. I mean, he just found something like. I mean, people still talk about that thing to me. And it was 5 years ago, and it's like. It wasn't like some kind of like real like insight into like the psyche of whatever.
It's less of a conversation.
It was just some fun, but it was just some fun. Like I told these goofy stories about driving around an albino stripper.
He gets it out of you where it doesn't seem like he's interviewing you.
Oh,
he just gets some story out of you. Then I guess he edits it down to a degree.
Yeah,
and just gets like, well, this is what I'm showing.
Yeah, he was great. I mean, I never thank him enough.
Ours was just talking about the Comedy Store.
Yeah,
I guess, and my old religious stuff too. But it's like, yeah.
So I mean, he's fucking fantastic. I don't know Corolla's thing well at all.
Corolla's more just radio.
Yeah,
it's not really an interview.
Not really an interview.
More just hang out and talk, which is fine.
It's people who were like informed, really. You know what I mean?
Like, this guy Kevin Couch used to do Playboy Radio.
Yeah,
and then National Lampoon's Radio, and he was really good because you know what he would do? And it was just internet radio, but he would come in having read your MySpace blog.
Oh, really?
And so he'd just lead you with something like that. So you're into Avril Lavigne, huh? I'm like, yeah, man, surprisingly I am. I know I shouldn't be, but it's like, he knows I'm passionate enough to write about it, so then it's like...
That's great.
Just start you off. Do like a modicum, a little bit of research, and you can like really get something out of it.
If you give a shit about the thing, I mean, there's also a thing, it's like, there's definitely, I'm sure, like, good, like... I don't think Bobby Kelly's a good interviewer per se, as he is like a good like podcast. You know what I mean? He's he presents you like a funny thing, and he's a funny dude and does it well, and like...
Well, like Legion of Skanks isn't really interviews.
Yeah, we couldn't do. We're horrible at interviewing.
Yeah.
We all talk over it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, well, go do your other thing then. I don't care.
I don't give a shit. I don't care.
This is a short one. It's fine.
Is it? We could pick it up.
Hour 14. I guess we could pick it up. Then what else do we have to talk about?
I could do it tomorrow. Tomorrow evening.
Well, we'll see if we get back to it.
Okay. If not, I love you anyway. We had the best prom this week.
Yeah. So listen to Jay on Legion of Skanks on iTunes.
SDR show on
the SDR
All
show.
Things Comedy.
On All Things, that's right. On our podcast co-op, All Things Comedy. Got to do the 3 late. Clippers are down, and Big J Oakerson on Twitter. Are you on there at all?
Yep.
A little bit.
At Big J Oakerson.
Where you got to go? Are you going anywhere coming up?
June, I will be at Zany's, Chicago.
Zany's, Chicago. That's a fucking sweet club.
Is it?
Downtown one?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Awesome.
I mean, like an old...
It's so funny how people either love it or hate it.
Who hates it?
I've heard other comics that go, I don't want to say who.
I'll pause and you tell me who.
Okay.
Oh, surprising. Anyway, It's great. It's just one of those old. It looks like an old rickety.
Yeah.
You know, but small, like 80 seats maybe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's fucking great.
Yeah, it's just old and cool. I mean, there's no place to sit. The green room, you gotta go through the crowd up.
That's killer though. It's like
it's awesome. It's awesome.
Idiots.
All right, so go see Zayn, and then you're gonna be at Bonnaroo with me.
Yes, indeed, motherfucker.
That's in June, man.
Let's do drugs.
Yeah, of course.
Not drugs, just weed.
We're doing shows together too.
Huh?
We're doing shows together at Bonnaroo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm second.
That is the episode. We are done with the episode. That's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed. I found a new place. Pancetta. It's not bad. I should give some East Village Stone reviews. That's what I should do. So you walk in there. They don't press you into too much. It's a half sandwich and a full sandwich. It's just pork. And you get the crackling on the outside. You get crackling on every sandwich. Half sandwich, 7. Full sandwich is 12. It's kind of a small sandwich, but it's pretty delicious. And it's just shoved full of pork. Not bad on 7th. On 7th between 1st and A. South side of the street, Pancetta. It wasn't bad. I suggest going there if you're walking around. Yeah, I'm going to do Stone reviews. They're also pretty cool about it. Everybody there listens to music. They were chill and friendly. She made a joke with me. And I just ordered a sandwich. I was like, what kind of sandwich? She goes, it's good. That's her answer. I was like, what kind of sandwiches? She goes, it's good. And then just gave me a delicious sandwich. Loved it. Ate half, put the other half in my fridge for later. Kept well. And the biscuit place was pretty good on whatever street that is. No, whatever. Another time. Let's do that. I'm going to do another whatever every time. Oh, it's Shavuos today. I should have done a Jewish history. Hey, come on. Orthodox Jews, can you remind me of the Jewish holidays coming up? Shavuos, that was a missed opportunity. That's the fucking... I could have done a 45-minute intro. That's the giving of the Torah. I'm not going to go back and do it again. This has to be out today. It's Memorial Day. I'm putting this out tonight because instead of like today because... or this morning because no one's going to listen to it. No one's at work. So it'll be out before midnight. But before I go, there was something I was going to say. Don't forget to go to warbyparker.com/Ari for free shipping and try them out, you guys. $95, all said and done. Like all said and done. That's pretty much a price of frames or lenses. Not both. Scratch proof. Whatever resistant. What's it called? Reflections? Glare. What was I going to say? God damn it. I wish I could rewind on this thing. Well, it's episode 220, The Gift of Garble, about bad interviews. Check out Big J, his podcast, The SDR Show, and Legion of Skanks, 2 podcasts he has. I'm on Legion of Skanks a lot. Pretty good. Fun, morning zoo type podcast. It's all silly, nothing like real serious at all. So if you're looking for just straight jokes, Big J, Dave Smith, Luis Gomez have a great one called Legion of Skanks. Check it out. I know everybody's looking for more shit to do. And come on, Jews, fucking remind me of this shit. Even though I'm just telling you right now for the first time that you should. But remind me of Jewish holidays coming up. Even like, let's do one. I can get through most of them in like, within a couple years, I can get through all of them. Yeah, that's it. Get tickets to the This Is Not Happening shows. All right. That's mine. I'll talk to you guys later. Ooh, phone call. Joey Diaz, I should have known. What's up, Joey? How are you? Bye, everybody. Slaves are all the same at a betting party or a poker game. What'd you say? In 1985, I robbed this chick, Stacey Caprini. Is that what you said?